Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again. 2022 U.S. Open Racquetball Championships for the IRT. I am Fabio Soto, along with Gustavo Farel. Gustavo, thank you very much for accompanying us today. In this booth, Gustavo from the IRF announcing team here teaming up with us today. Gustavo, welcome.
Thank you very much, Fabio. It's good to be here. I hope I can attend and do some more commentating with you. We see here Andre Parrilla, number 2, seated in this tournament. Eduardo Garay, number 19, both of them from Mexico. Andre from San Luis Potosí, where we recently had the World Championships, 21st World Championships, of which he did not partake as he did not qualify. And Eduardo Garay from Chihuahua, Mexico.
Wow, Andre Parrilla, what a great shot right there. Splat roll out.
Both 26 years old. Both young men are degreed or almost degreed. Andre is a psychologist, and Eduardo is an electrical engineer. Very nice to see that these young men have another career behind racquetball. As we know, it's a great sport, but it's hard to make a living just playing racquetball.
You know what? Andre's doing a good job at it, though. He has some sponsors back home. He has a lot of people that support him. And, you know, he's been doing this for a long time. He's been playing the Pro Tour for so many years now. And he's now sponsored by Team Dovetail as well.
La Loma Deportivo is sponsored Andre as well. And Laboratorios La Chonga.
And, for example, you had World Championships and San Luis Potosí in La Loma Centro Deportivo. It's a great club.
Spectacular club. I have to say, this venue here at the University of Minnesota is every bit as nice, but that one has all the sports you can imagine.
You have a golf course there.
Everything.
Everything.
Spectacular.
Fantastic club. Michael Phelps used to train there in the Olympic pool that they have.
Few clubs have a pool with that Olympic length, the 100-meter.
So when it comes to game style, Gustavo, for example, obviously Andre Parrilla coming in ranked number 2 on the tour right now. And, you know, a lot of experience for both of these guys because they played in their junior years against and with each other in Mexico. So there's a lot of experience here since their junior years. According to their game styles, what are you expecting out of this match?
Well, I think Andre is much quicker off. He's moving before Garay is even hitting the ball, before the opponent's hitting the ball. He's already moving to where he knows the ball's going to go. That's he's got an uncanny ability to tell where the ball's going. Garay is very powerful, obviously very fit, as you can see. Andre deceivingly strong for his size, but I do believe that we're going to see the uncanny ability of Parrilla to really start picking apart, and the resounding, of course, number 2 spot he has on the tour. Garay has been up to play in El Paso, Texas, where I'm from, and we do thank him for coming up to play with Jaime Martel, another great player here that's also on the tour, and great young men, both of them.
1-4.
1 serving 4, Garay now.
Second.
Short serve, that ball has to cross the short line, which is 20 feet from the front. Second serve. High lob to the right side.
Wow. What a great shot there by Eduardo Garay.
Great shot, shoulder height, backhand into the corner.
So just not to confuse people, Eduardo Garay, we call him Lalo Garay, just like Eduardo Portillo, Lalo Portillo, because in Mexico, people that are named Eduardo, we short it like Lalo. It's like Antonio, Tony.
2-4.
So Eduardo Garay, 2 serving 4 in the head pen scoreboard. This, for me, is an interesting matchup, Gustavo, because I've said on the broadcast before, Andre Parrilla, to me, is one of the highest IQ players in racquetball. Very smart, very intelligent player. His defensive skills are second to none. His ball retrieval skills are quite good. And the thing of the matchup here with Eduardo Garay is that speed, talent, defensive capability. So I expect a lot of shots to be taken from Andre Parrilla and a lot of ball retrievals from Eduardo Garay. So I expect long rallies here and good rallies.
Well, of course, they can cover that court. Every ball is up. It has to be a flat rollout for them not to be able to get it. They're that fast. Garay is slowing things down, something I know Parrilla doesn't like. He's very anxious to get to the ball, to serve, to move. And you could see it in the way he returns the serve. He just wants to get in there and hit it. Yeah, he's made a couple unforced errors there. Parrilla and Garay again slowing the ball down a little bit.
And look at that. He tied it up at 4 apiece. So whatever strategy he's doing, it's working, like you said. And I agree. You know, the speed is Andre's game. And when you slow him down, not happy about it. You can see it right then and there.
4-4.
4 serving 4 now on the headpan scoreboard.
Segundo.
One of the things that we're going to do in the international racquetball, and I'm sure in the IRT as well, is to stop this around the world ball before they serve the ball. Thinking of ways that we can speed that up so they get the ball, go into the service box and serve. They've got to start the play within 10 seconds, kind of like tennis. You know, you see a lot of times where the light goes off and that's it. You know, loss of serve. So we need to do that here in racquetball. We want to keep the fans involved, and we got to make sure that they don't get bored in watching the sport.
Wow,
Great
kill
shot.
shot. Kill shot for Andre Parrilla. Fantastic play.
I had the opportunity to play Andre in 2014 in Bolivia, Santa
5-4.
Cruz. I was lucky to get a couple points on him. At that tournament, I think he was 17 years old.
Segundo.
And he ended up losing to Jose Rojas in the finals. Very impressive. I was talking with his dad, Fabian, who I've known for many years, and we were talking about that particular tournament. One of his break-ins into the professional tour.
Good job right there by Eduardo Garay to get the side out.
Cuatro, cinco.
Okay. 4 serving 5. Skipped in, tied it up. He's continuing with the same serve. This is exactly what I was saying. This hitting the ball around like that. I think this has got to stop. We got to just get the ball, get in the service box and serve. He's sticking with the same serve. Drive to the left side, and he's short serving at just about every serve. Low percentage at this point. Next serve will do a lob, and I think he's got to change that up. Get Andre on the defensive. This is giving him an offensive shot, as you see right there, right down the left side glass, which unlike in San Luis Potosí, very difficult to see the ball. Here, there's a film on it which allows the players inside the court to see the ball a lot better, not distracted by the fans on the outside or the carpeting or anything else moving outside the court. 5-5, Parrilla serving. Backhand, very smooth backhand serve. Side out. Powers the ball past Parrilla, which very hard to do, but successful there. Coming up to serve, Garay, 5-5.
5-5.
And he takes the lead now with a forehand drive from about 35 feet back. Nothing Parrilla could do.
I'm really not surprised that we're going back and forth here. Their matchup is really well. Again, and even though that Parrilla is rated number 2 in the pro division.
6-5.
You got to keep in mind, they've been playing each other a long time, over 10 years, so they know their game, you know?
And sometimes a player is has a style that really another player can't handle, and the rankings don't mean much because they've, like you said, they've played each other so much, they know their game, and that was a nice drive serve down the right side. 0.75 for Garay. He takes a 2-point lead now.
7-5.
Sticking with the same drive serve.
Segundo.
And again, every time he's gone to the backhand, he's been short. I haven't seen that first serve go in, but maybe once. Eduardo Lalo le manda saludos a su familia, a su novia, Chihuahua, México, que seguramente están viendo este partido. Y gracias a Zurek por patrocinar al evento y en particular a Eduardo también. Muchas gracias por el apoyo al deporte, a nuestro deporte. Muy lindas camisetas que les han dado a los muchachos acá. 5-7, Parrilla serving. Y sí,
That seemed like a good pickup right there, kept alive. But, you know, that's the thing I like about Andre's play. Even though he probably thought that Eduardo faulted right there, he didn't get discouraged. He finished the job. That's the thing I like about Andre. Again, high IQ in racquetball, makes very good shot selections right there.
You never stop
6-7.
until the referee has made the point call, and he did not. Parrilla knows better, even though he thought Garay didn't get to it. Parrilla's doing that same drive serve, but his is coming across the short line, and that was a successful point for him. 7-7.
7-7.
This time he went to the right side.
Skip.
Yeah, that's a good call. Side out by the head referee, Rodrigo Rodriguez. Good lefty, now living in Chicago, working in Chicago.
7-7.
Also from Mexico.
Segundo.
This sport now, the numbers of players that we have that are playing racquetball, majority coming from Mexico, Bolivia. Of course, the United States still has a great contingency of awesome racquetball players, but the numbers that are playing in Mexico and Bolivia are unheard of. Parrilla moves forward, drives the ball into the ground. Backhand, tough shot. He went for it. Garay takes a 8-7 lead.
Ocho, siete. Segundo.
Second serve, not successful again with that drive serve. Now he'll go to the lob, as he's been doing. Set him up for that pass down the right. That time Parrilla stepped in. The hash marked line there, the receiving line, you cannot step into that zone until the ball bounces or until it crosses the plane in its entirety if on the fly. Those of you that are not familiar with the sport, all those lines have purpose on the court.
Punto.
Point. Parrilla. And I like to, well, we must have a timeout here. Stepped out of the court? No. Towel, referee timeout.
We'll take this opportunity to thank everybody watching, not only in the U.S., but also in Mexico, where these players are from, people from Chihuahua. Un saludo a toda la hermosa gente de Chihuahua, México, de San Luis Potosí, viendo a sus hijos jugar, Eduardo Garay, viendo a Eduardo Garay desde mucho, mucho tiempo, André Parrilla también. Saludo a toda la hermosa gente de México, de aquí de parte de Gustavo Farel y su servidor Fabio Soto.
Andres serving now at 8-8, game
8-8.
1. Very close back and forth. Each player has had the lead a couple times. Drive serve down the right side
Punto.
and splats it into the corner. 9-8. Now when serving to that right side, the racket frame
9-8.
cannot cross the drive service line, which is exactly 3 feet off that side wall on both sides of the court. It's a rule which is a good rule because Garay responds with a pinch splat on the right side, side out. But that rule is such that in place so that you do not screen or hide the ball as it goes down the side of the court. So you cannot step on that line or over that line on that particular
8-9.
side of the court. Was added on. I was looking at some of the courts a long time ago, and that line did not exist. The line, which is a foot and a half off the wall, that's for the doubles partner to stand in on either side.
Punto.
Nice shot, Garay. Ties it up, 9-9.
So great seeing these guys go back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just like two boxers
9-9.
exchanging jabs, trading blows,
Yeah.
figuring themselves out. But there comes a time when someone throws a really big punch.
And he's done that a couple times already. He's hit that splat on the right side very successfully. Hopefully this doesn't become a game of, as I was seeing here, referee timeout to bring a towel to come in.
And that happens a lot with Eduardo Garay on the court. He's diving all over, never afraid to risk himself. But yeah, those towel timeouts, are going to come often here. Now, Gustavo, talking about that, the referee here in the IRT, has the authority to tell the player that he needs to change his shirt. What about in the IRF?
Same rule. I was just going to check with you and see if that applied, and that is a must. And when the fact that he's not wearing a sleeve
9-9.
shirt, he's going to obviously sweat more, so there's going to be more. Now, for the safety of the players, I think it's important that they be allowed to towel down the court, but it can become excessive and also an advantage if a player wants to take a break and recoup a bit. So it's up to the referee really to keep control of what's going on in the match.
Great stuff there. Great defensive play. See, those two defensive dives that Garay had led to this. Unfortunately, Andre could not pick that ball up. Now it's Eduardo Garay's turn.
And he's sticking to the same serve. And he stands right at center court with his right foot. That time he did get it in. Great diving get by Garay. Not that time.
Punto.
Parrilla just keeps driving it back at him, and not that time. Garay was not able to get it. And here we go with the towel again, and understandably he'd been on the floor several locations there. Let's see if head referee hurries them up as he is stepping in, telling them to. And your comment regarding the shirt change, I think that should be necessary here fairly quickly.
9-9.
So Parrilla has changed his serve up a little bit. He's serving from the left side. And Garay drills it back with the backhand straight in, right in front of Parrilla. Couldn't get to it.
You know what? I don't blame Andre Parrilla for trying that serve. I don't blame him for it. He needs to feel it out again. They know each other really well. But, the game has shifted since.
9-9.
So let's see, 9-9. Again, tied once more.
He's looking at some of the rule differences here. We have 1 minute timeout in the IRF. I see here 30 seconds.
No, 1 minute.
They've changed that thing.
Right.
Okay. So it's the same, and it's good that the rules are kind of coming together. Makes sense.
Yeah, right now the biggest
9-9.
difference is the scoring system that we're handling. That's the biggest difference. And talking about that, Gustavo, playing 3 out of 5 to 11 with rally
Punto.
scoring in the IRF, do you really think that there's a lot of difference between the winners of one tournament and the other? I mean, the top is still the top, but what do you think?
Well, I think the rally scoring, what it's done for the game is engage more of the fans, also engage the same players, that they have to be attent on every point, because here you're serving and the worst that can happen is side out. So you don't lose the point. But when you're rally scoring, you can actually win, and that's what we saw in the World Championships, was that every point was an intensity that was much higher than what it would be in the regular scoring that we have today here. So I hope that that's something that one will also go to. We have a timeout here.
Timeout call here by Garay, and as he takes a timeout, we'll take a short break ourselves, and we'll be back here shortly on IRT Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're live once again here, University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. For the just joining us, U.S. Open Racquetball Championships. For the RT, I'm Fabio Soto, along with Gustavo Farel. Gustavo, a timeout from Garay. Your thoughts?
Well, I think he needed to. I believe the score now is 11. Oh, side out there.
It's a side out.
Parrilla is ahead, but Garay serving, taking the serve back. 10-11. Check with head referee Rodrigo Rodriguez.
9-11.
9-11. Garay serving.
That's a check right there with the referee. 9 serving 11 headband scoreboard.
Great venue here at the university. Super location with all the students here, the hotels, everything just been great. A great facility. We congratulate the University of Minnesota for what they've done here with the courts. 11-9, Parrilla serving. His serve, he's getting it just over the line right where it needs to be, but Garay's getting it back. Not doing much with it, but getting it back. Got a great reach, Garay does.
Best rally so far.
Yeah, this is the longest.
Wow.
Ended by a splat on the right side. Garay, great shot. He needed that.
And you know what? Never afraid to risk a shot like that. Eduardo Garay has always showed us throughout his career that he's a shooter, regardless of the score.
Still
9-11.
9-11. Garay serving. Sticking with that same drive serve. See if he can be more successful with it. That time he did get it over. Too deep off the back wall, and Parrilla responds with a backhand right into the left side.
The return, the capability that Andre Parrilla has to do a good return of serve is unprecedented. Like, it doesn't matter how hard they hit the ball. He uses that force to his own advantage.
11-9, Parrilla serving. How many timeouts do they have here in the IRT? One timeout. Okay, so that's the same then as the IRF. That's great.
Andre Parrilla getting pumped up.
So Garay has used his timeout already, and now he's relying on the referee to let him bring the towel in and dry the court off. So that, unfortunately, is an issue we have in all of the sport. We want to make sure that we stay safe for the players. We don't want anybody getting hurt, but at the same time, the delays of the game detract from the play. And can be, as Andre just shrugged here, he says, this is, we're here to play, let's go. And this plays in Garay's favor because he wants to slow this down. Parrilla wants to just keep playing.
This is a sport of timing, Gustavo. Timing is everything in racquetball. Fractions of a second can change a play completely. And taking these towel timeouts, not beneficial. Now Garay is doing something to his racket, as you're going to see on the screen right now.
Yeah, he's putting in the
vibration damper,
absorber, the shock absorber, vibration damper. Yeah.
Actually, I just saw that he broke a string.
Okay.
And he changed the racket, so he had 30 seconds to change the racket. That's exactly what happened.
And that rule's the same in IRF and
30
IRT.
seconds.
Yeah.
12-9.
So we got 12 serving 9. Head referee calling the score.
Parrilla's going to keep on with that drive to the left or right side. That was short. Now going to the high lob. Nick, left side wall.
Wow, that's
Not
a good
that
shot.
time, yeah.
It's a good shot right there. He had many options. I honestly thought he was going to go for a wide angle pass. That probably would have worked successfully as well, but he made that choice. Kill shot right now. He gets the ball back, 9-12, in the headpan scoreboard.
I think Garay needs to get a point here now to stay in this, or Parrilla's going to turn it up. He gets the serve back. See if he can do that.
Wow, there you go. It's a good down-the-line shot there from Andre Parrilla.
And he takes his glasses off and puts the marker where they're going to come in and clean. He's going to come in and clean the floor. And just a point of observation there, we do have technicals for not having your glasses on at all times.
At all times.
In the court. And for safety reasons, as you can see there, Parrilla's hitting the ball around, and you could accidentally, and it happens, accidentally hit the other player in the eye, and everybody knows that. It's very dangerous. So I don't know exactly, that's a good way to mark the spot, but I think the player should always leave their eye guards on for safety's sake.
12-9.
And the tether on their racket as well always has to be on, or a technical can be assessed. The technical in racquetball is minus a point, but not a change in serve or loss of serve.
That's a point where their ace serve from Andre Parrilla. And you know what, Gustavo, that's one of the rule differences. In warming up in the IRT, you're not required at warm-up to have your wrist cord, have the tether on the wrist. That's not mandatory.
Okay.
And only warming up. Once you're in the court, playing, you have to have it.
You have to have it on.
Yeah. But some players, like Alejandro Landa, Kane Wazelenchuk, they sometimes, when they warm up, they go in the court with their racket without the tether wrapped to their wrist. Sometimes they do it.
Now, if they were to start inadvertently without the tether on their...
Oh, no, then that's a technical.
There'd be a technical -1 as well.
Of course. Only warm up. Yeah. In the RRF, you have to go in at all times with your eye guards on, with the tether.
The same.
Strapped to your cord. That is correct.
Yeah.
Now, that's something that we've learned in Mexico the hard way. Having all these players when they play official and sanctioned tournaments by the Mexican Racquetball Federation. Yeah. Of course, the FMR abides by the rules of the IRF. 13-9. Andre Parrilla. Good serve.
Nice get by Garay.
Wow.
Punto.
Point 14. This is first possible game point. 9.
So we were tied at 9 again. Then since then,
14,
Andre
9.
Parrilla, a 5-point run, one more, and he's done. And warming up right now on the side of the court is Daniel de la Rosa, the number 1 player on tour. He will play next. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a game you don't want to miss. Down the line shot, Andre Parrilla wins game number 1, 15-9. We take a 2-minute break. We'll be back shortly here with game number 2 on IRT Live.
RYDF helped us a lot with almost every tournament with the hotel. That it's one of the expenses. Without them, I don't think I could go to every tournament to play. Well, I love racquetball and I want to be the best. I want to be one of the youngest players to ever win a title or the US Open.
The ancient Greeks had 4 words for love. The most admirable is called agape, love as an action. For 175 years, New York Life has been helping people act on their love. So they can look back or look ahead and say, we got it right. We did good.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your support by bringing you the MyPillow that started it all. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. Because it works, we've sold over 70 million MyPillows, and now I'm bringing it to you for the lowest price ever. For example, you get my standard MyPillow now only $19.88 with your promo code. Now's the time to get them for your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone you know. MyPillows make the best gifts ever. In the times we're in, one thing we all need is getting a great night's sleep. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen now. Use your promo code.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 underway. Eduardo-Garay to the serve, and an ace serve. What a way to start game number 2, Gustavo.
Yes, and get the momentum
1-0.
on his side now, because definitely Parrilla closed out game number 1 very strong. Garay needed that. Sticking with the same drive serve, mostly to the backhand. And he is getting it over the short line.
Wow, good shot there by Andre Parrilla. I want to remind everybody watching, Gustavo, after this match, number 1 player on tour, Daniel de la Rosa versus Rodrigo Montoya.
Wow.
The 2 finalists of Mexican Nationals this year, number 1 and number 2 in Mexico, coming up next after this match. You want to miss that one, folks?
Unbelievable. They're playing in what, the round of 32s?
Round of 16s.
16s.
Number 1 and number 2 in Mexico.
Yeah, it shows you the talent we have here assembled at this 26th U.S. Open.
So listen to this. At Mexican Nationals this year in Juarez, the final of the men's singles was Daniel de la Rosa versus Rodrigo Montoya. The final of the mixed doubles was Daniel de la Rosa and Paola Longoria versus Rodrigo Montoya and Samantha Salas. The final of the men's doubles, Daniel de la Rosa and Álvaro Beltrán versus Javier Mar and Rodrigo Montoya.
Yeah.
So both of the next athletes coming up, they were involved in all 3 finals.
They know each other very well, is what you're trying to say.
And that tells you how good they are.
Not that time. He couldn't pinch it in. Tried to get his racket on it. Couldn't do anything with it. That ball's coming fast.
1-0.
From outside the court, everything looks like you can get it, and nobody really understands how fast that ball is going until you get in there and hit or receive with them.
Wow.
Nice splat.
Punto.
That's a good shot there by Garay. Point number 2 for Eduardo Garay.
Takes the early lead here in
2-0.
Minneapolis, second day of the 26th U.S. Open. Two zero. Sticking with his drive serve. There's a good serve.
Punto.
It's a
And
point.
he did call it a point. 2 bounces. Nobody to appeal to but the referee, and he could appeal to the other player, but I don't think he's going to give it to him. Call stands 3-0.
So after the round of 16s, in the quarterfinals, we'll
3-0.
have referee with line judges. So there can be appeals, both in singles and in doubles. Wow, great pass.
On the appeal system, it's still with the 2 lines, folks. Okay, lines people. All right. And as you know, in the IRF, we've gone to the electronic eye,
4-0.
the electronic replay, which worked really well. 4-0. Now got eye serving. Now to the right side. Overhead, almost rollout killed. Pass got eye, side out. So that electronic
0-4.
replay has taken the element of the human and possible human error out of the game. It worked really well in the World Championships. And,
Was that used also in the World Games?
in the World Games is where it started.
Punto.
Point. It's where it started. They started to use it, and it was very effective because now the referee themselves can go and look at the replay and determine whether or not the call they made was good. They're the only ones that can overrule their call or affirm their call, and there's nothing to be discussed. The call stands or is refuted by the same referee. There is an assistant which helps him look at the different angles of the shots and everything to make sure that the call was made correctly. And I found that we used that on the championship court, and it worked very effectively. So I'm sure that that's something that IRT, if they're not using it yet, will be using it soon. Two serving 4.
Segundo.
Short serve. The ball has to cross the short line over the red. Very hard to see that where the referee's standing, but the higher up you are, the better chance you have of seeing that. Good splat right side by Garay. Like the
4-2.
in the IRF, everything's appealable except for technicals are not appealable. And forfeit is not appealable. I don't know if the IRT is the same. That skipped in, you can see the ball.
There's a good shot called by the referee.
The other rule that changed that was
2-4.
made, which was 2 serving 4, was that you had to appeal the call. You can't appeal back 6 rallies. You have to appeal it immediately.
Immediately.
Stop the play and appeal it. And of course, when you're serving, if you're appealing the serve, that makes sense. But in a rally, it's a tough call to say, I'm going to appeal this call so you can't swing. Because once you swing, then play goes on. You've lost that chance of appeal. And that was very effective. Everything we're trying to do is speed the game up.
4-2.
So it engages the fans more and makes it easier to view. 4-2, that eye serving. Ball's down. And now we're going to get the towel again.
I figured, between games that we had, when Andre won the first one, figured Eduardo Garay would change shirts, but it didn't happen. The referee hasn't said anything to him. These delays that we're having, making the game slow, it can get to Andre. Yet it didn't in game number 1, which says a lot about his professionalism.
2-4.
But we'll see how this plays. He's still down by 2.
And it can turn a 40, 45-minute game into an hour 15, an hour 30.
Easily.
Just by all the delays that take place. So.
I think that hit the box.
Replay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they both stopped play, replaying at 2-4.
2-4.
It's a great diving get there by Garay. One zig, the other one zagged. Point there for Andre Parrilla. He caught him off guard.
And what Parrilla does so well there, he got him on the defensive on that dive that Garay was able to return and immediately capitalized on that next shot.
Yes, I believe he got the order from the referee to change his shirt right now, and he gets that order. Let's take a short commercial break, and we'll be back here on IRT Live. Back to the action, everybody, right here after the referee ordered Eduardo Garay to the shirt change.
Segundo.
Short serve from Andre Parrilla.
Punto.
Great shot, Parrilla.
Aggressive with the forehand now, and it seems to be getting back in control. Parrilla 4-4.
And that's what I like about his game. He knows he's in his office. He wants to spend the least amount of time possible in that court because he knows that he has to reserve himself either for the doubles or continuing on. So that's one of the things about I like under talking to him. And he says, you know what, I need to figure out the quickest way to get out of there, how to defeat my opponent in the fastest way possible. And I don't blame him. Prolonging those matches, let alone that they tear you and wear you out, you run the risk of injury.
I was watching him warm up, skip the ball in. Unforced error there, Parrilla. 5-4 Garay now. But just watching him warm up, he's
5-4.
always in constant movement. And we're talking about 30 minutes before match time, and I think Garay hadn't even finished his doubles yet. So it's just he's anxious to get in there and play and be done with it.
Wow.
Great serve down the right side, ace.
What a fantastic serve to Andre's forehand. So you're
6-4.
Gustavo, you're Eduardo Garay, and you have to do drive serve. Do you drive to Andre's forehand or backhand?
Well, he has been short on the drive to the backhand, and when he's cleared the short line, Parrilla has returned it very successfully. So I think he's got to do a combination of mixing it up. More importantly is when he serves, whether you're going to the forehand or the backhand, that the receiving player, Parrilla, doesn't know which direction he's going, and that's very hard to do. Players are watching each other's feet movement all the time, the way their body's leaning. I mean, they know each other so well that they can read where they're going to serve.
4-6. Segundo.
Short serve called.
That's a good call. I saw that short as well here. We have a good angle, camera angle. Half lob. Nice get, Garay. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Not that time.
That's Parrilla trying to get back in it.
And we have another towel timeout, referee timeout. And this after the change of shirts, so. Is the next match the last match on court?
No. So next up, Daniel de la Rosa versus Rodrigo Montoya, and the final match of the evening
5-6.
is a rematch of the semifinals of the Capital Classic. Sam Murray versus Javier Mar.
Wow. Great games
He's
all
up.
around.
Andre Parrilla not happy with that call.
There must be 20, probably
6-5.
6'5" got ice serving. Probably 30 different events here at this tournament, which is fantastic. We have players of age all the way up to 85 years old.
Punto.
It's great to see them here. Those that actually started with this sport back in the
7-5.
early 70s. Garay takes a 2-point lead. But it's great to see a lot of my Minnesota friends. Of course, this is my alma mater, University of Minnesota. And
The
they're-
Gophers.
The Gophers, yeah. We got a homecoming game on Saturday against Purdue. So,
Good matchup.
yeah, it'll be a good one. It's in the
7-5.
morning, 11 in the morning.
Great serve again. Another ace serve from Eduardo Garay.
Takes an 8-5 lead.
You know, he had success with those drive serves to the forehand. Now the backhand. He has 3 aces in this game so far.
Parrilla's very calm, though.
Oh, he's got nerves of steel, no doubt.
And now he's going to go to the lob. Broken ball.
Too soon to tell.
No, no.
Eduardo Garay not happy with that call. Let's see what the referee says.
We won't translate exactly what he said.
I didn't understand.
Good.
And here we go.
Yeah. Now they can appeal to each other all they want, but of course they're the only ones that can
5-8.
change the ref call.
5 serving 8.
So the call stands, as I suspected. Parrilla didn't give in.
A little heat is never a bad thing, Gustavo.
Yeah.
A little too much there. Andre Parrilla scoring point number 6. We're going back and forth again, Gustavo. Game 1 was a little bit closer, but, you know, 2-point difference, not a big thing.
Here we go again with the towel, and he's all over the court, so we got to make sure that there's no wet spots.
So one of the keys to the success of Eduardo Garay throughout this game has been right now his serve. You know, 3 aces right now. There's a 2-point difference, so that has kept him over the edge. You know, but what other key do you think that Eduardo Garay needs to apply to take this one into the game number 3?
Well, I think Eduardo, he keeps just pressuring Andre to make mistakes and has been successful with that here in game 2. I don't believe that that's going to help him win this, but I do believe what's going to help him win is the slowing the game down and making these points go long for Parrilla. And Parrilla being as anxious as he is, I think Garay's going to get that advantage and continue to use that, eking out the points to possible game number
6-8.
2 win.
Segundo.
Short serve.
I honestly expect Andre Parrilla right now to put his foot on the gas. You know, 8 points is no joke.
And
Punto.
unforced error there. Advantage Parrilla with a point, 7-8. Hit that smart drive down the
7-8.
left side wall, but skipped it in. And it cracks out. Roll out back wall.
That's unfortunate there for Andre Parrilla.
8-7.
8-7. Yeah.
I think it hit the box. I think so.
8-7.
So we're seeing a bullet of a serve right there again from Parrilla-Garay. Let's see if he can keep it up.
For those of you that don't know what Fabio was referring to, the box is the camera on the front wall there. Now I can see it. When you were saying that, I was wondering, where was that box?
Wow, Andre Parrilla, just very solid racquetball right there.
Yeah.
He knew not only where he was, but also where Rodrigo was. His shot selection was perfect at that time. I thought a down-the-line shot would have been just as effective, but Andre killed it in the corner.
Yeah, he had him in the back left corner. He could have done either. And he's serving well. He's getting it over the line. And now, like you said, he's starting to take charge, tying the game up at 8.
So both of
8-8.
these gentlemen have a timeout. 8-8. Similar pace now than game number 1. Let's see if Andre Parrilla puts his foot on the gas. What a great return there from Garay.
Yeah, very
No
nice.
chance whatsoever.
And they have to use this one timeout wisely, but it's very important they use it. And usually when another player gets ahead a few points, gaining some momentum is when they got to slow it down. Of course, Garay is using the wet floor as to his advantage and slowing things down. Skip the ball in.
Good shot there, Garay. Serve has been his ultimate weapon throughout this match, Gustavo.
Here we have the 10-second plus service rule and slowing the game down. Nice return off the wall.
Interesting choice for Garay. Paid for it. Down the line shot. Not a lot of effort there from Andre as he easily puts that one away.
8-9.
That was a hard shot for him to return. It was right on the right side wall, and he was very focused to the ball. You don't want to look at the wall or you're going to hit the wall. That's we all do.
That's the thing about Eduardo Garay, though. He rarely goes defensive. He wants to go full offense. But when you do that, you lack time to get up and set up a shot.
Great get.
Here's another one. Kill shot, Parrilla.
Yeah, he's putting the pressure on now, and Garay knows he's got to come to life real quick.
9-9 at the headpen scoreboard.
Saving his timeout.
This is going down the wire in game number 2. Let's see what happens. Of course, as always, Andre Parrilla very calm, very cool, very collected.
He just wants to keep playing.
Eduardo Garay has always been a little bit more emotional.
I haven't had the opportunity to see Eduardo
9-9.
Garay play as much as I have Parrilla.
He has had some good tournaments. He has had good wins. But, he's missing that little step. Getting into the, into the quarterfinals is something that has eluded him. But he's done some, some tremendous tournaments throughout his career.
Nice.
It's a skip called.
They called it a skip.
I agree with that call.
I didn't see it well, and Garay did not argue.
And finally, Andre Parrilla taking the lead.
As you said earlier, Fabio, that had to happen sooner than later. He didn't want it to get the 13.
Wow, what a great return of serve there.
Nice splat.
I don't see to be honest,
9-10.
Gustavo, I don't see a timeout coming anytime soon.
The only one that would call the timeout is Andre, and I think is if he gets behind.
Segundo.
Short serve.
Short serve.
He's not needed the timeouts because he's been able to just slow the ball down with the wet floor referee timeout. But both of these athletes are in really good shape. So it's not from being tired. Nice shot, Parrilla into the left corner.
And you know what that is? They're both hard workers. Their training regimen, their nutrition, everything. They're hard workers. And you see that in their game.
I'm not sure what if he
10-9.
took something out of the court that he found on the ground. 10 serving 9. Second game here. Minneapolis, the 26th U.S. Open. Day 2.
Segundo.
Playing through Sunday. Finals will be on Sunday, right? Lots
Doubles final is on Saturday night. Singles final is on Sunday afternoon. Point right there. Parrilla.
Timeout.
Slowly keeping away, and we have a timeout now from Eduardo Garay as he takes a timeout. We'll take a short break ourselves and we'll be back shortly here on IRT Live.
YDF helped us a lot with almost every tournament with the hotel. That it's one of the expenses. Without them, I don't think I could go to every tournament to play. Well, I love racquetball and I want to be the best. I want to be one of the youngest players to ever win a title or the US Open.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're live once again here from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So quick update, Gustavo. We're told that Adam Manilla took game number 1 against Rocky Carson. They're currently undergoing game number 2. So that's an interesting matchup right there. That's the only match that's going on right now. Remind everybody that after this match, Daniel de la Rosa, Rodrigo Montoya, number 1 and number 2 player in Mexico, up next here on Stadium Court. But as of now, Gustavo, renewing this match, Andre Parrilla right now leading 11-9 in game number 2. Timeout was called by Eduardo Garay. Tell us about this timeout.
So now,
Well,
no more
11-8.
game on, 11-8. 11.
11-9 was the call, but we'll check again with the
We'll
referee.
check with the referee. Now he said 11-8. I don't know if there was
Segundo.
a technical or what happened here, but 11-8 was called by the referee. Lob serve, second serve. So the timeout used to slow down Parrilla's quick 2 points, and he skips it in again. Parrilla knows it. He's got the advantage. Shaking his head.
12-8.
Yes.
12-8.
That's the referee's call, 12-8. I do believe there has to be a technical. He
There.
was calling 9.
He was calling 9.
Great serve by Andre Parrilla. Like I said, Gustavo, expect to
Taking-
put his foot on the gas.
Taking control.
13-8.
Parrilla is foot faulting. I think the rule is the same there. He's taking his left foot going way over the front line. Referee's not calling it.
But it is the same rule.
It is an advantage to get closer to that front wall, and
Definitely
a lot of players
is.
use it, and some players need a lot of room to stroke that ball.
Conrado Moscoso for one.
He's usually 2 feet over.
Does he get a lot of those foot faults in the RF called?
They do. We referees we have are excellent referees. Are watching that all the time, and it changes the serve when you catch that.
Ooh, little short there by Andre Parrilla, can get to it. And now This is where Eduardo Garay has to put his foot on the gas.
8-13.
8-13.
We're coming down to the end of game 2 here at University of Minnesota Recreation Center. 12 beautiful courts here. 2 sidewall, back wall glass. 10 of them are all back wall glass. Spectacular venue.
13-8.
Parrilla gets the serve back, 13-8. It's great to see the event moved here. Happy to be here at my alma mater for this 26th U.S. Open.
Punto.
Splat right side. Now we're going to first game and match
14-8.
point number 1. Possibility for Parrilla. And it cracks out. That's it.
Parrilla takes this match 15-9 to 15-8 versus Eduardo Garay. Gotta love it, Gustavo. Thank you very much for joining us again here at the booth. So, ladies and gentlemen, about 15 minutes tune in. Daniel de la Rosa, Rodrigo, Montoya, number 1 and number 2 in Mexico. These year's finalists of Mexican Nationals coming up next. Gustavo, thank you very much for stepping up in the booth. We expect to see you throughout this weekend. And good luck in your match later today.
My pleasure. Good to be here, Fabio, as always, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.